Welcome back. So this is a continuation on our SX64 restoration. Now, when I got the machine from my coworker, who has owned it, by the way, since the 1980s, it would not boot up. We turn the switch on, we get a blank screen. And as I very quickly realized that this is a common problem on all Commodores. The SX64, being based on the Commodore 64, is also prone. So, what is a PLA chip? Well, I'm going to read this straight off the C64 Wiki article at c64-wiki.com. The Programmable Logic Array, PLA, is a hardware programmable chip in the C64 which contains combinatorial logic. Designed by Dave DeOrio, the PLA is used to create chip select signals received from various other signals. These signals control which chip is to be connected to the data bus. Therefore, the PLA is responsible for dictating the memory map of the C64 and enables the implementation of bank switching. Commodore engineer James Redfield said it was the glue logic to tie everything together. This chip is failure-prone, especially the earliest models. Eventually, the third-party PLAs were created, such as the Super PLA, Real PLA, U17 Plankton, and Platinum. I bought the Plankton, by the way. That's what's in mine. PLA 20V8, and also PLAs based on EEPROMs as a replacement part. So, there you go. But our problems didn't end there. It turns out the keyboard was basically trash. So, I can't win for losing, right? As it also turns out, the SX64 has a failure-prone keyboard. And one of the problems is the membrane itself, and that's what we have in front of us. And the problem with the membrane is that sometimes these little tracers can crack, and they will create an open circuit. The problem with this one, however, I believe, was just general buildup or oxidization, although I'm not seeing any oxidization, on the contact layer. So we're going to clean the contact layer. Because if I pressed the keys hard enough, they would work, which is actually kind of a good sign. It means that more than likely the membrane is still fine. On a side note, you can buy these brand new. There is like one guy out there making these, I believe in Europe, and they're not terribly expensive. These only charging about $30 US, I think, for the replacement membrane. The reason that these are, I gotta say, the collector's mark, the collectability of these old Commodores is driving a market of replacement parts, which is wonderful. That's the best thing that's the best case scenario. If you've got a machine where there is a fan base large enough to warrant the costs of reproducing parts, you've got a winner. And as a collector, those are the machines that you should probably start out on because they're the easiest and you won't get as frustrated with them. Because if I could not get a replacement membrane and this thing wasn't fixable, I would be shit out of luck. However, the collectability of the SX64 is driving up the prices of these machines to atmospheric levels. This machine, when I'm done with it, should be worth somewhere around between $500 to $800, depending on who's looking, which is insane. Anyway, what I decided to do, because of production issues, I was not able to order a replacement membrane. I actually contacted one of the guys who resells them in England, and I asked him point blank, can I get one of these? And he says right now there are no units in stock, and due to COVID, our freaking nightmare of the century, there are none to be produced. They're not producing them right now. He told me that it's a possibility that I might be able to get one sometime in mid-February. So I'm going to hold my breath. But I thought it would be fun to try to fix this one. Now, what have I got in this? Is it drugs? No, it's not drugs. What I have here is some kind of a metallic polymer. That is a medical grade needle, my friends. That's a real needle. That's how it came. This is a syringe. You could use this for horrible things. But we're going to use that needle tip applicator to try to apply this metallic conductive substance to the keyboard membrane. So here's what happened. If you didn't see my last video, I'm sure most of you didn't. If you didn't see that video, here's what you missed. So what happened was I was in the process of dismantling this keyboard, and when I went to go take this membrane off the board, I tore the pads clean off. So that sucks. That's just not cool. I'm going to try to use this polymer to replace those pads. So I'm gonna just test this out on a piece of paper here, just to see how it comes out of the needle before I start squirting it all helter-skelter here. Okay, so don't use that needle. Alright. The needles, damn it. I gotta get me a little paintbrush. Alright, so don't use the needle. It clogged it right up. Cap that needle off. I don't want anyone getting hurt. That is an actual druggy grade needle right there. We don't want to use that. But unfortunately, a lot of it just spewed out all over the place. I'm going to find me a little paintbrush. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's see how this is going to work out. Now, some of this stuff ended up on my paper here, and I'm going to just try to paint it on. So let's get this, we're going to squeeze this out onto the paper. Use it as a palette. I get the brush all caught up in it. Okay. Alright. Let's see what we can do. We're going to get it all the way across from one conductive bar to the next. Avoiding a short circuit. Get some more on there. This stuff is, I think it cost me about $11 for this tiny little syringe. So, it's not exactly cheap, but I thought it would be worth a shot. This would be a great way to kind of see how it works. Allegedly, you can repair certain board failures with this stuff. So, as long as you don't cause a short circuit, you're fine. Applying this stuff nice and thick. I gotta be honest, I was never good at painting, so I don't think this is going to work. I really don't have a lot of faith in this repair. But we're going to have to do multiple coats, I think. We want to make sure that we don't cause a short here. We want to make sure there's plenty of distance between. And there's no path for the two bars or two adjacent bars to contact one another. That almost doesn't make any sense at all. I don't think this is going to work. I really don't. But yeah, I just realized why that won't work. It took me long enough. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think so. What's going to happen is, maybe it will. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. Let's grab a multimeter and check it for any shorts. Let's see what happens. To be honest with you, I think I'm going to order one of those replacement membranes anyway once they're available, because I don't know. I don't think this is going to last, even if it works. So let's see what we get from resistance on this. Alright. So from here to here, nothing. Not a thing. Nothing. This stuff doesn't work. There's nothing. Is it dry? Not totally, but this stuff is not conductive at all. Honestly, I just... No, there's just... Stuff is not conductive whatsoever. So maybe it has to dry? Well, that's disheartening. What about the pads themselves? Nothing there either. Oh, wait. I have to follow the yellow brick road here. Let's see. How can I verify that? Yeah, see, it goes to a different... Maybe we wait for it to dry. Alright, let's see how it did. It's been about an hour to 2 hours. No, more like 2 hours. And let's see if it dried at all. Well, no, it hasn't dried. So I read the instructions, which are hilarious because, well, let me read to you what the... Because there's a sticker right over the instructions. So let's see what we got. Let's see if I can read this. Yeah, there's a sticker right over the instructions, but it says can be. Here we go. Combined. All right. Workshop production line combined with the actual situation. The conductive silver paint can be printed directly on the circuit board. It can be used 100 to 140 degrees below the barbecue, 30 minutes to complete. The curing suitable for LED. Look, I think I have to heat it up to cure it. Well, let's give it a try. I have a hair dryer. Maybe that might do something. So right now we're barbecuing it according to the instructions. And I did confirm that once it dries, it does become conductive. So it does show some promise. A little bit. Not much, but some. Alright. So let's do some preliminary testing here. So I can see where those tracers are supposed to go. It would be nice if I had a light box. That would actually make this job a little bit easier. But we need to confirm conductivity somehow. Crap. It's still not completely dry. I gotta barbecue it a little longer. But it is conductive. As long as there are no breaks. Yeah, it has to be totally dry. I gotta be honest with you, I'm not too impressed. They don't give you very much, so there's no margin of error, there's no wiggle room. when they give you this little syringe. There's just, you can't, there's not enough here to fuck up, not even once. So I already got one where I know it's not gonna, this didn't go on thick enough, and I don't have enough to put on a second layer, so I'm basically screwed. I'm just gonna, tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm not even gonna waste my time. I'm gonna wait for another membrane. It could take me months to get another one, but I will. There's just not enough in the syringe to really get the job done. And that's probably the most disappointing part of it all. And I already had to wipe it clean and start over because I just didn't have enough luck with applying it the first time. So I wasted a lot of material, you know, and that's what really sucks. I wasted a great deal of this stuff first go round. And just kind of learning how the stuff works and kind of playing with how to apply it, and yeah, that's the unfortunate part. But one thing I did learn is it doesn't dry on its own. As the instructions state, it requires some barbecuing. Barbecuing, huh? Yeah, barbecuing. So if I look through it, I see a lot of light going through those. Yeah, I see a lot. So the fourth one in, it looks very thin. It looks awful. Well, it's dryish now, so here we go. Good, good, not good, not good. Nope. Good, 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 good. I'm gonna have to buy another tube of this shit. Something went wrong over here. I used the wrong I mean, just the whole thing. I'm a little frustrated because I didn't have the right brush. I couldn't really understand the instructions because they're written in Chinglish. And well, let's just see if we got any. It's still not cured completely. This one, the third one down from the top, is a total disaster. This isn't going to work. I'm just going to come out and say it. Whether or not it helped with the contact pads, well, let's find out right now. No. Actually, that did work. Not sure which one. This one would relate to. It can work, but I'm just pissed off because I think I started myself off on the wrong foot here. I don't know which one that goes to. See if I can trace it out with the light. The light's not really all that helpful, is it? Yeah, you know, this could work, but you have to be in the right mind frame, and you gotta know when to fold them and know when to hold them. I would rather just have a new one if I can get one. Just being honest here. Because I feel like the longevity of this repair won't really... And then eventually that guy who's still making these things is going to stop making them. And what then? Then what do we do? You know? Because I tried to be cheap and quick, I ended up with a substandard repair. And then 5 years down the road, when I can't get the replacements anymore, then what do I do? So, yeah, this isn't... Part of the problem here is there wasn't a lot of material left for these... where the pads go underneath the masking, a lot of that material got ripped away. And once that happens... You know, it's not... It's no longer feasible to get a good repair out of it. And I think that's what happened here. So I'm only getting... It's only toning out. In the areas where it's visible from the top, which... You know, in other words, it doesn't go underneath the masking. So that's kind of where we're at here. This is not... See, that one worked. The one below it, it goes across pretty fine. So a couple of things we learned. Number one, it's heat cured. Number two, it is conductive only when dry. Number three, I don't think we had enough material anyway to get a good bond, or to get a good you know what I'm saying. To get any contact, we had not enough material. There could be other breaks on the membrane that we don't know about, just from handling it and flexure. But that one's not coming back to anything. Let's trace it out. I try to. Yeah, it should. Yeah, it's hard to see because there's multiple layers here. This is a multiple layer board, if you will. And a little miffed of that one, fourth one down. Oh man, yeah, it's a disaster. Just not enough material there to get a good contact. But yeah, start all over again. But I will either have to do one of two things. I'm either going to have to get a new membrane, which is what I would prefer, or we need to get a new kit. And I don't really want to spend the money on that right now. Stuff doesn't come off easy either. But anyway, I'm not rage quitting or anything, but I'm very disappointed with how this came out. I blame myself for that. And I also blame the supplier for putting a sticker over the fucking instructions. Are you kidding me? And writing the instructions in a language that I do not understand. But whatever. You know? Sometimes you live and learn. Also, buy a larger quantity next time. But we cleaned it up, so there's still some material there. If I decide to go back to it and do it all over again, I'm sure the formula will be exactly the same. We won't have any compatibility issues. But I am concerned, though, that there's not enough pad left on one of these to get a good contact out of anyway. So what we're doing is just pointless. And if we don't have that, we got nothing. In other words, there's not enough of a nerve ending for me to graft onto, regardless of what product I end up using. But I'm getting nothing at all. Nothing at all out of this one. I should, where my probes are right now, I should be getting something. I'm getting nothing. Of course, I can't see the multimeter because I'm looking at the board. I could be getting some resistance, which is all we really need, I think. Just a little bit of resistance to trigger the key press. But this is a valid and very possibly effective repair for the right application. So it's a shame. I'm gonna start looking. I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled for a replacement membrane. There's a gentleman on eBay selling a restored keyboard. I'm not sure I need to go that far into it because the rest of the keyboard is fine. I just need a membrane. So, all right, we're gonna continue on when I get the new membrane. I'm not gonna waste any more time on eBay stuff from China, and we'll see what happens next. Before somebody mentions this, I want to point this out. Normally, in doing something like that, what you could do is use masking tape. I actually have some masking tape that would be effective for this to get perfect lines. That would make the most sense. The problem is I didn't want to apply any adhesive on this and peel it off and run the risk of damaging even more of it. So while this looks cartoonish and Flintstone-esque, you can steal that, by the way, Flintstone-esque. I made it up just now. I actually thought about putting tape down and then peeling it up later. So get a nice thick layer of the stuff, peel the tape off, dry it with a hairdryer or whatever I gotta do, or let it cure. And yeah, unfortunately, because of the delicate nature of this material, I did not have that as an option. So I've already, no, we can't do that, not here. I'm sure there are some videos of people fixing these, doing the exact same thing and having perfect luck, but this is my first attempt and my last. I don't want to waste too much of my time on this. I think I'm going to just, again, we're going to go for a new membrane, and that is that. So I'm going to keep in touch with the gentleman who I originally spoke to. He's from England, and hopefully I can get one once he has a supply ready. And I'll share the information once I buy one of where I got it. So anyone else with the same problem might not have the same hassles that I'm having. But yeah, whatever. It was an attempt. Nothing more. Okay, on to better things.